Hey guys, stay patient here. You can probably tell I'm kind of whispering because it's early in the morning here and I don't really want to wake up my family. But I had to get up. As soon as I woke up, I noticed that the No Man's Sky trophies have been added. This is big news, very exciting. And I wanted to get this video done as soon as possible. So hopefully I can edit my voice so that you can actually hear me. And I apologise if I sound a bit croaky as well. That's usually me in the morning. But this is one of those games that people really had no idea what the trophies were going to entail. So we're going to have a look together now and see what we can tell about the game and see if we can figure out what the Platinum's going to sort of need us to do. The first thing I noticed when I did scan through, I haven't looked at them sort of thoroughly. First thing I notice is that it looks as though every single trophy requires you to reach a certain status or like a certain rank in one of the basic game activities. So we're going to have a look and see if any of them are repeated. Maybe you need to sort of reach one status and then keep increasing it to another higher status, or it might be that every single one is different. The other thing you'll notice is that if we just scroll back here, the game only has 23 trophies, but obviously it has a platinum, which means it's around 12. Pardon me, which means it's around 1,200 points. So it does need a lot of golds and silvers to make up those points. It looks as though, look, we've got all these golds at the top here, then a bunch of silvers, and then a bunch of golds. In fact, I don't think. No, my apologies. It's six bronzes, 8 silvers, and 8 golds. That's a lot of gold and silvers, basically. It doesn't mean it's got higher points than the usual platinum, but it does mean that it adds to your gold and silver count on your profile. Anyway, let's have a look through these and see what they are all about. So, the names don't really tell us anything. The status names, so naturalist status and trailblazer status, like we don't know what that means because we don't know, none of these give away how much we're going to need to do to reach that status. That could be the first time we level up in status, or it could be the very top one. It could need sort of hundreds of hours. We have no idea. But what we can sort of try and figure out is what these categories are all about. So you've got uploaded discoveries, reaching a status in them. Now, that kind of makes sense. I'm guessing that means, when you discover a new creature or a new animal that no one's come across before, you can name it and you can upload it. And every time anyone else comes across it, that will be it will come up saying, in my case, it will say, stay patient, discovered this, and he called it whatever. Called it a fart monkey or something. So that I think is quite self-explanatory. We've got space exploration. Now I don't know if that means finding a certain number of star systems or going to a certain number of planets, but obviously something that probably come naturally, I'm guessing, if you sort of travel around space a lot, which is basically what the game is. Most units accrued. This I found quite interesting. I'm not sure if you can have some kind of convoy, because in the game you have got like enemy convoys, I think, but then you've got sort of trading ships and their convoys. So I'm not sure, whether you can build up your own sort of convoy, or maybe, units, it might be that units is the in-game currency. So we really can't tell, but entrepreneur, I suppose the word entrepreneur kind of refers to someone that makes money through creating business. So it may well be actually that's probably what that is. It's probably the money in the game. So it's probably amassing a certain amount of the in-game credits or currency, whatever they call it, units, I guess. Words collected. Now, in No Man's Sky, we've heard about languages. So you've got these different sort of alien languages that you can learn, and you learn them by finding, you find words and translations, and that slowly builds up your language. So when you start reading bits of text in that language, it will replace certain words or certain letters that you have learnt, and then you can kind of try and figure out what it says. Once you've learnt enough of it, then you might be able to fill in the blanks and try and kind of, a bit like when you learn a language in real life, if you know some words but not all of them, you can kind of try and figure out what's being said based on what you do know. So it does say confused status, so I'm guessing that means not necessarily learning all of them, because if you learn all of the words for a language, then you're not going to be confused anymore. So who knows, maybe it's learning like half of them or something. We have no idea. It's going to be very interesting finding out. Attain known status as an alien colonist encounters. So I'm guessing this is getting to know maybe NPCs in the game. Alien colonists would imply, that would probably imply not enemies, but sort of, like I say, NPCs, friendly in-game characters that you can talk to, and it might just be a case of meeting a certain number of them, I suppose. These are the bronze ones, of course, so these are, I'm guessing, the easier trophies in the game. So now we've got novice status in ships destroyed. So, you know what, I have just noticed something very important, which I didn't notice before, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, novice status in ships destroyed, because as soon as I read this, I noticed the word novice. Obviously, the ships destroyed goes without saying, that's pretty self-explanatory. But novice kind of implies a low level of ranking up. But as soon as I read that, I realized that you've got exactly the same trophies, because I was wondering why it would only want you to level up to novice. But then if you look here, we've got all the silver trophies, which are the same activities. So we've got archivist and uploaded discoveries, then space exploration, units accrued, words collected. All of these are exactly the same, except we've got two new ones. Robust status in longest lifespan and nomad in on-foot exploration. So I suppose one of them just means walking around planets, and the other one means, I suppose, surviving. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into sort of the revivals in the game, what do you call it, like the respawns, if you die, what happens? I mean, it's not a permadeath game, is it? It's not roguelike. As far as I know, I have watched some videos on the game, but I've tried to avoid sort of finding out everything I can, because this is the kind of game you want to go into without knowing everything. It's quite exciting figuring it out for yourself. So I'm not actually sure how deaths work, but I'm guessing there's a checkpoint system. So this one here, for the longest lifespan, I suppose is just a case of living for as long as you can without dying. And who knows how long that might be. See, this is one of those platinums that could go either way. It could be really quite easy. It could just be long, like, it's easy to do, but as long as you play the game for long enough, you'll earn all the trophies eventually. Or it could be super hard, because some of these, surviving, it might be that you need to survive for such a long time that it's almost like playing a full game through without dying, And I'm guessing there's a higher level status for that as well, because we've got 8 silvers, we've got 6 bronzes, so that explains the extra 2 status changes here. And we've also got 8 gold, so I'm guessing the gold correspond with the silvers. So we've got, again, uploaded discoveries, space exploration, most units accrued, words collected, alien colonists encounters, ships destroyed, longest lifespan, and on-foot exploration. So all of these ones, pardon me if you can hear my tummy rumbling, all of these gold ones are exactly the same as the silver. So it looks as though basically earning this platinum involves earning these gold trophies, because if you earn these golds, then you will have automatically earned the silvers and the bronzes along the way, because they involve reaching lower statuses on exactly the same categories. So it's quite an easy trophy list to keep track of. But the question of whether it's going to be an easy trophy list to earn really hangs in the balance. That's something that we're going to have to wait and see, but I'm definitely going to be buying this day one. I'm going to be streaming it for you guys, uploading the gameplay to YouTube, and if I can do any guides for, just explaining how some of the features work, especially focusing on these 8 different categories, how you can go about effectively leveling up your status and checking your status. We're going to be covering that, doing sort of trophy and achievement guides for the game, if that's a realistic prospect. Obviously, it's one of those games where I'm not going to be able to say go to this planet and do this, because we're going to be literally light years away from each other. Very few people are ever going to go to the same planet as you, and that's why you're going to have all these uploaded discoveries, things that you've come across and no one else has. But we are going to do our best to explain things for you guys so that you can go about earning this. But like I say, these 8 gold trophies are what is involved in earning the platinum, and all the other ones will come naturally. So this is quite interesting. I like the way they structured this. Everything is a case of reaching a new status, so hopefully there's a way of tracking these statuses in game, because if there's like one screen you can go to and you can check maybe like some kind of XP bar that increases whenever you sort of meet a colonist or whenever you find some words, you'll be able to keep track, and you can just play the game freely, and you'll have one screen that you can go to track your entire progress towards every single trophy in the game. That would be pretty cool, and it will just give you the freedom to play the game as and how you like. I do like the fact that there aren't any trophies that require you to play in any specific way. These are all things that you're going to naturally be doing while playing the game, so it's really one of those trophy lists that you're not going to be constantly needing to check. This doesn't look as though there's going to be any missable trophies or anything along those lines. It's very much one of those games that give you complete freedom, which it needed to be, really, because that's what the game's all about, giving you freedom to explore this huge universe. So there you have it, guys. If you want to take a closer look at this trophy list, just go to this website here, which is psnprofiles.com. In fact, I may put the link to the trophy list in the description, so check the description if you want to take a closer look at this. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of No Man's Sky content coming up when the game does release, so I look forward to that, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next video.